baby, what's happening out there? How we doing, Outrage crew? August 8th, 2019, we're out here on the goddamn battleship. You know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, we got some ridiculousness to break down here. What's up, Archer? How the fuck you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I'm reconnecting with some of the original members of the Outrage crew. Archer and Dirtweed was on here yesterday. Now that we're on in the middle of the goddamn day and some Americans can tune into the stream. What's cracking, AJ? Ooh, we're gonna get into some very nefarious Hollywood propaganda here. There's a movie slated to come out. All right, it's called The Hunt. All right, slated to come out at the end of September. We're gonna break this down, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna watch the trailer. Oh my God, the debauchery. Feeling pretty good, getting over the sickness. I had a lot of vegetables past couple days, a lot of protein. All right, I went to the 99-cent store yesterday and I loaded up on goddamn salad accessories. All right, I'm gonna be pre-packaging my vegetables there into my storable containers, and gonna be growing up a bunch of goddamn chicken all at once, dude, and making them goddamn chicken salads. I need them quick, put-together meals, dude. I'm tired of having to cook every time I eat. Having to steam up goddamn broccoli and scramble eggs, dude. It's goddamn tiresome. Let me share the stream out of here on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Now that some people may be awake for the Facebook streamings. Oh, it hasn't popped up on my Outrage TV channel yet. We've got a slight delay, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do a little simulcast Instagram live here. Bring in the Instagram peoples. Hey, what's up, Instagram? We're here. We're live on the damn Outrage cast. We got the Outrage crew rocking. We're in the middle of the afternoon. We're doing it big, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful Thursday out there. All right, we're here rocking it on the Outrage cast. We're going to break down the nefarious trailers here of upcoming Hollywood movies. Oh, my God. We're going to get into everything and all the news headlines and all of that. So, link is in the bio. It's Outrage TV. It's the Outrage cast. Tune in. We're going to have some fun, baby. All right, I'll see you. All right, give the Instagram people a little notification there. What's up, Bradley Burry? Archer's been busy lately. No need for apologies, dude. Get out there and get busy. All right? No rest for the defenders of Western civilization. All right? Constant goddamn hammering with the arguments and, living our own goddamn lives. We just don't want to be bothered by the cultural Marxist cretins. Leave us alone. I just, everybody wants to be kept safe by the government. I want to be left alone. The government doesn't keep me safe. They limit my freedom. God damn it. And I experienced it, when they cracked down on online poker. They banned online poker, dude. I was just starting to, kick off my professional poker career. And they cracked down. They told me that's not what you should be spending your money on, plebeian. No. I think they were keeping, they say the government keeps people safe. I think they were keeping the terrible poker players that I was engaging with. I think they were keeping them safe from me. All right, I was the predator in the equation. I was preying upon these poor individuals' gambling habits and habitual throwing away of their own money. What's up, Dave Kranick? Says just made buffalo burgers on brioche buns with sweet potato fries. Oh my God. I made some scrambled eggs and some goddamn Parmesan broccoli as per usual. That's my goddamn staple breakfast, dude. Steam up a big pile of broccoli and then scramble up some eggs with the grass-fed Kerrygold butter there, and we hit that espresso. And then I'm getting in on this little. I like these Quake energy drinks because it's the only one I've found that has creatine, electrolytes, and it's carbonated. Goddamn magical. Bradley Murray says he's allowed back on Discord soon. Are you in a Discord timeout? What's the deal with that, dude? On that Discord timeout. Yeah, we'll wait for the Outrage crew to file in here. Get a few more people, and then I'm gonna play this goddamn trailer. Might keep it a little shorter today. I do want to get in the gym at some point, get some work done, get some pizza consumed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's run through some news headlines. The NRA is warding Trump, rightfully so. All right, his rhetoric is inching toward capitulating to the gun grabbing hysteria. It's not what we want. NRA warns Trump. Trump warned by NRA over background checks. President Donald Trump has repeatedly told lawmakers and aides in private conversations that he is open to endorsing extensive background checks in the wake of 2 mass shootings, prompting a warning from the National Rifle Association and concerns among White House aides, according to lawmakers and administration officials. What's weird is how the left portrays the NRA as some kind of terrorist organization just for arguing for the right to personal liberty to be able to own a gun. That's literally all the NRA does, is promote responsible gun ownership. And it's blame them for the mass shootings. Oh God, the terrorist organization, the NRA. The fucking hysteria, dude. You have a link for the Discord? Yes, I do, AJ. Yes, I do indeed. And once again, you hear in the background the drawback to doing the afternoon streams here. We get to hear the lovely dump truck backing up outside. Well, it's not actually a dump truck, all right. Just to be clear, all right. It's a delivery truck delivering things over to the goddamn Hollywood and Highland Center for all the lovely tourists here in Hollywood to little goodies for the tourists to consume. What up, Davey? Oh shit, what up, front hole? He's out there slacking off at work. Well, we tolerate that for purposes of defending Western civilization. If it's more important to Western civilization to watch the Outrage cast than to participate in the activity at your workplace, then we support that decision for sure, dude. Dave Krennic says AR platform rifles have gone up 20%, roughly $100 per rifle. Oh my God, the demand is rising. And this is the argument. I was trying to make a goddamn comedy bit out of it. But it's just the same argument with the drug war and the gun control thing. There's a demand for drugs, there's a demand for guns. No matter how much the government tries to institute a ban, all you're going to do is criminalize the supply of the thing that everybody wants. The supply is still going to happen. You're just going to turn those people who are supplying it into criminals, which is fine for the government to turn more people into criminals and justify their own existence and defer away, the attention from the fact that the government themselves are criminals. So, nice little double-edged sword there. They get funding to go after the fake criminals they create, or just giving people what they want in guns and drugs. And, everybody's like, oh, people can't control themselves. It's that's not the gun's fault. That's not the drug's fault. All right? People lose their goddamn mind, and they go on the internet, they build bombs, they make napalm, they fucking stab people, they, hit people with hammers, they, knock them out on the street and kill them when their head bangs off the pavement, dude. I mean, they're crazy people. They're always going to find a way to do crazy shit. You don't blame the goddamn drugs. You don't blame the gun. It's a tool. Drugs are a mental tool. They can easily be abused. Guns are a physical tool. They can easily be abused. They're both very effective tools. That's why they get used. That's why they're so desired. All right, and you can tell why I've had trouble turning that into a comedy bit, because nothing is funny about that point, but it's so fucking salient. You know, I got to talk about my personal experience with guns on stage, I guess, when I bring up the gun issue, because, you know, it's funny because I'm from Oklahoma, but I have such little experience with guns. You know, I grew up around the ultimate, you know, Okie, you know, redneck gun culture. And, you know, I've only been hunting once, and I didn't even get to fire my goddamn gun once. All right, I fired a gun at a coffee can, and it was a pellet gun. All right, but I went hunting one time with my grandpa. All right, my infamous, you know, lovable but racist grandpa. And we went hunting on the back roads of Oklahoma, and it was snowing outside. We went hunting for pheasant and rabbit. All right, and he was so old at the time he couldn't get out and walk around, so we were literally hunting out of the windows in his goddamn pickup truck. And we pulled up, and on my side of the truck there was a group of pheasant there, and I was getting ready to shoot one of them. And he's like, "Hold on, son, I know it's your first time. You better let me show you how it's done." And so he leans across me and blows the fucking window out of the truck. It was halfway rolled down, and he fucking hovered that barrel over the fucking window, and it just blew the fucking window up in my face. And then after that, we were riding around, you know, in sub-zero temperatures in the snow, and we got lost on the back roads of Oklahoma. I thought we were gonna die. You know, back in the back of my head, I partially, you know, I wanted to kind of get stranded because I wanted to actually get to shoot something. I wanted to actually have to do some survival hunting. I wanted to get on my Bear Grylls, you know. I don't have any goddamn experience with the firearms there, but I do want to. I want to get me a nice little pistola or a shotgun just for some goddamn home defense, and want to go out to the range and test the shit out. Front hole says, "Slacking off. I'm on point, bro." my mistake, front hole. You're obviously one of those nerdy kids in class that gets all of his work done early, like the Outrage Chancellor, and then proceeds to do whatever he pleases for the rest of the period. That's what me and my friends would do. All right, we would get our work done, you know, super fucking quick, and then we'd all sit together and we'd come up with ridiculous jokes and games to play. We would play variations of rock, paper, scissors. One of them we came up with was Jew, American, Nazi. All right, we called it Jan. All right, Jew, for those playing at home and the audio listeners. All right, you cover up the crown of your head like a yarmulke. American, obviously, is the military salute, and then Nazi, obviously, is the Heil Hitler salute there. And the Jews beat the Americans because they run all the banks. The Americans beat the Nazis because of World War II, and the Nazis obviously beat the Jews. All right, so if you want to have a fun little rock, paper, scissors endeavor there, you know, after you get your goddamn worksheet done in class, all right, get after it. Archer says you can't regulate crazy. That's why they're called crazy. Yeah. Naveed says, but you can call people who don't follow the official narrative crazy, and then you can take their guns. Yeah, well, here's part of the propaganda. Let's go ahead and watch this. I call this stream open season hunting deplorables. All right. And it's not hyperbole, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This is actually the narrative they're pushing in their fake created reality and out here in Hollywood. So a very big, this Universal Pictures, a Blumhouse is producing this, I think. And let's just let's enjoy the what Hollywood thinks of you, ladies and gentlemen, or at least this little portion of Hollywood. This is what they think of the Deplorables. All right, let's check it out. The Hunt 2019. This is a movie called The Hunt. It's supposed to be coming out on September 27th. We'll see if it actually comes out, but Check this out. Oh, hold on. I'm just going to knock on the door. That may be the exterminator I was supposed to let into another apartment. Sorry about that. Real quick. Hey, what's going on? You're trying to get number 5? Yeah. Okay, I'll be down there in 1 second. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to play the trailer. All right. Oh, no, I want to watch it with you guys and comment along the way. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Well, actually, let's go ahead and play it. Because the time. Let's do display capture. All right.
Hey there. Help you?
What state is this?
Sorry.
You don't understand the question?
Oh, no, I didn't. Most people know where they are.
Why ain't most people?
You're in the glorious state of Arkansas, sweetheart.
How'd you know they was lying?
Well, this ain't Arkansas, so everyone is lying.
Your idea is incredible.
I can't argue with that. We pay for everything, so this country belongs to us.
It's just business. Hunting human beings for sport.
They're not human beings.
Every year, a bunch of elites kidnap normal folk like us. Where'd they get you from? Wyoming?
Mississippi?
Orlando.
And hunt us for sport. Hurry, hurry, hurry up!
So it's true.
We're being hunted.
Hey! What am I gonna wait?
What is happening?
Put them in the back with the rest.
Gonna take a freight train down at the station. I don't care where it goes.
Now they can't see us.
You just told them we're here.
What was that?
I think that was a rifle.
Everybody get out of here!
Jesus, come on!
Who are these people? How are they getting away with this? Can't you see?
You have no idea what you're up against.
They're playing you.
They'll take you to pieces.
We'll see. Of all the people you kidnapped, of all the people you killed, you picked the wrong game.
Lady, you're crazy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Did you enjoy that? Oh no, they've detected copyrighted audio and video in my stream. Ooh. Are you going to crack down for the copyright now? But yeah, dude. They literally call the people they've kidnapped deplorables in the movie. They make references to the president there. So here's an article on it right here. Dave says they should give hunting tags to Texans for illegal immigrants, but that would deter illegal immigration. Dude, that's that deterrent. All right? That's that fucking deterrent. David says it's just the Purge director doing the Purge again. Yeah, it's not the most imaginative thing ever. All right? What's up, Salty? He says, shouldn't you be delivering pizzas? Well, dude, that's very insulting. I'm a very multifaceted delivery boy. All right, I do still happen to be a delivery boy, but god damn it, I'm multifaceted. Come on, dude. Dude, I've delivered $500, fashionable dresses from Beverly Hills. I've delivered, strap-on dildos to weirdo individuals in West Hollywood. All right, I've delivered, whippets. All right, to debaucherous parties in the Hollywood Hills. I deliver all kinds of things, dude. But yeah, the Purge was so retarded because, like, for no reason at all, they made like the head, like, villain guy of the Purge like some kind of Nazi dude, when it's like every like goon in the Purge movie is straight out of the Antifa fucking handbook. It's straight like central casting Antifa. And it's like they're the ones that are out there on the streets like looking for violence. Like every situation when they clash with the Proud Boys, it's like the Proud Boys are just, they're out there, assembling, and then the Antifa shows up with their goddamn bike locks and tries whacking people. Naveed says, but it's even lazy for all the money they throw at the propaganda. Yeah, dude. Yeah. This is pretty goddamn pathetic. So here's an article about it. A controversial movie about privileged vacationers hunting deplorables for sport is ruffling feathers more than a month before its scheduled release after the tragic mass shootings in El Paso, Texas, Dayton, and Ohio. In Dayton, Ohio. The hunt is billed as a satire that it's hilarious, don't you see? You just, blow the head off of white people with southern draws, and it's goddamn hysterical. That follows wealthy thrill seekers taking a private jet to a 5-star resort where they embark on a deeply rewarding expedition that involves hunting down and killing designated humans. The Hollywood Reporter reported on Tuesday that Universal is reevaluating its strategy for the certain-to-be controversial satire. Following the shootings after ESPN reportedly pulled a trailer for a film that had been previously cleared to air on the sports network. Oh yeah, ESPN is super woke. They were down for it. The violent R-rated film producer, Jason Blum's Blumhouse, follows a dozen MAGA types who wake up in a clearing and realize they are being stalked for sport by elite liberals, THR's Kim Masters wrote. It features gun blazing along with other ultra-violent killings as the elites pick off their prey. Oh boy, what a wonderful underdog Hollywood story. It's just elite people just murdering for fun. Murdering poor white people for fun. Oh my God, what could be more hilarious? What up, Tatiana? Yeah, I'm on that daytime streaming. You know what it is. We got the good energy. We got the goddamn caffeine. We got the creatine. We're fired up. Bradley Murray says Trump did make a gay speech the other day about how computer games and whites are bad, super gay. Yeah, he's got, I don't know, he seems to have a blind spot when it comes to appeasing people on rhetoric with guns. We'll see if he actually does anything. I mean, he did take action on the bump stock thing, which I don't know a lot about. But yeah, he's definitely cucking out, at least on the rhetoric front there. He was talking about how video games make people violent. Oh my God, that's super dumb. That is super dumb, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at a 55 level gold cross on Call of Duty 4. All right, never once have I thought about, tactically taking people out with a goddamn assault rifle. It's just retarded. David says, yeah, Bradley, Trump is done as far as I'm concerned, but the people that voted for him aren't going anywhere, and the state seems to be getting nervous about that population. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you mean by Trump is done as far as you're concerned. He's still, I mean, he might be making some suggestible rhetoric there, but he's not calling for gun control. He's not on that side of the line of it. No, it's not the chancellor having sleeping difficulties. It's, you know, it's just not the time schedule I want to be on. I don't want to be on that circadian rhythm of being up till like goddamn 4 or 5 in the morning every night, and then waking up at 1 and 2 in the afternoon, dude. I like waking up early. I still haven't achieved it quite yet, but ultimately I want to get down to that waking up at like 6 a.m. I love that 6 a.m. energy when you wake up and you look outside in Hollywood and the goddamn streets have just been cleaned and the grime and the grit has been swept off the sidewalk, and it's a fresh day. The sun's coming up, dude. I like that early morning vibe. And get some good goddamn writing done and whatnot. Get a head start on your motherfucking day. But yeah, David says Trump is done as far as he's concerned. I don't know, dude. He's got to cut government. He's got to, you know, hold steadfast on the First and Second Amendments, and more tax cuts. Some spending cuts would be nice. I mean, it's the worst of both worlds, where he like praises the military for their empire, you know, activity, and they're spread out all over the planet with their goddamn military bases. And oh my God, the military can do no wrong. They're just worship them, you know. And then, but we're not going to bring them back and keep them safe and actually defend the country. No, we're going to keep them spread out in all these different countries, and it's just totally necessary. But then, you know, he's making all these concessions, at least rhetorically, on the goddamn Second Amendment, which the cops and the military unanimously support. And he's like walking that line, dude. It's fucking weird. Yeah, dude, I'm on that Travis Bickle. The grit and grime. One day a great rain will come and wash it all away. Salty says Trump loves guns, Putin's cockholster after all. Well, there you go, dude. He's on that, what's a Russian gun? I almost said Walther, but that's German. Dave Krennic says, on bump stocks, not practical, very inaccurate. Cammed turn handle, which is easier to install and use, is way more accurate and faster. Yeah, I just brought it up because I know he like supported some kind of ban for and that was after, you know, the last thing of shootings there. Trump does get caught up in the emotional hysteria of the media, and he feels like he's got to, you know, respond. I love these people just yelling at the government, do something, you know, and you know, the outraged chancellor is sitting here at the very opposite end of the spectrum. Don't do anything on every issue. I want the government to do absolutely nothing. Disband yourselves. Do nothing. Everybody's looking at the government saying, do something. You have to do something. The fuck's the government going to do about crazies getting guns? Crazies are going to get guns, dude. You have to, you know, the burden of defending yourself falls upon your own shoulders. And just this, you know, third grade level thinking of you know, do something. These people that think of the government like their goddamn parents because their parents were never there. They didn't give a fuck about them. So, oh my God, government has to play daddy for me because daddy wasn't there. That's what they want, dude. They replace your parents with the state. I mean, even people that had two parents, you're spending way more time in public school. If you go to public school, you're spending way more time with the government institutions than you are your actual family. And so it's like you're taking away from your goddamn family into the indoctrination centers, all right, and they get control of your consciousness for 7 to 8 hours a day. Tatiana gets it. She says they're going to get guns regardless. I was saying it's the same thing with the war on drugs argument. People want guns. People want drugs. They're going to get guns and drugs. The government can't even keep hard drugs out of federal prison. Do you think they're going to be able to, you think they're going to be able to keep guns out of crazy people's hands? Well, while we're not looking, Obama and Eric Holder are selling firearms to the cartel members. That Operation Fast and Furious, dude. They're funding, arming, and training ISIS in the Middle East. They like guns being in the hand of criminals because then they're going to commit crimes, and then the government has the ability to justify their own existence. Oh, you see? You need us to keep you safe. Those criminals have guns again. Turns out when we just when we classify anybody who has a gun as a criminal, then they become criminals, and then we can justify our own existence. And isn't it a fun little, circle of life for the government? David says, excuse me, sir, are you Twitter user Groper Sheckelberg 1488? We're going to have to sweep your house for firearms. Oh, my God. Well, Twitter was very concerned that I got duped by Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. They sent me a big, long, windbag, pompous email about, how I'd liked posts that may have been from evil Russian propagandists. And oh, my God, I was being duped. I was being duped into not voting for the Madam President Hillary Clinton, and what was I thinking? The Russians had taken over my brain, and I had Russian microbots, little Dolph Lundgren Russian microbots, shadowboxing in my head and controlling my thoughts, and they made me like that post. All right, I know not what I do. The Russians have taken control of my consciousness. Oh yeah, dude, Twitter's gonna, they're gonna be that government snitch, all right? They're gonna rat you out pretty quick. Don't be liking any posts about being pro-gun or pro-First Amendment or, pro-defending Western civilization. No. We know what you're doing. You're being sucked into the Russian propaganda hole. Bradley Murray says, I have a 50-mile-per-hour wheel like you in the hatchback, Nick, but some guy called it a biscuit wheel today. Oh, yeah, you said that your brother was driving the car and he blew out one of the wheels. Was that his fault or was that a goddamn accident? Did he run over did he run over some children at a crosswalk and blow out that goddamn wheel, dude? Was he in a high-speed police chase and did he run across that fucking nail strip that the police throw out? That's how the fucking tire went pop, dude. They rolled that fucking nail strip out to stop Bradley Murray's brother from getting on that fucking high-speed chasing. Yeah, we call it a donut. I like that you said a 50-mile-per-hour wheel. Dude, when I had my donut, I was going more than 50 miles an hour. All right, but it was a little sketchy. When I first got on the highway to go up to Fourth Wall, you could hear that wheel turning way faster than all the other wheels. It was kicking it into high gear, dude, that Outrage hatchback with the fucking donut wheel, son. But yeah, did you guys like that trailer? That was just, that was a window into the mind of, the neurotic Hollywood leftist. And you were saying it's just like The Purge. I could see it being more like The Purge, but it's more, I don't know, the second Purge was definitely, it had that overt political propaganda nature to it. Because the president was a woman, and the enemies were Nazis, and you could see all the imagery they were going for. This one, it's like even more fucking blatant. But somebody said it's like Get Out. I mean, it's Blumhouse also did Get Out. Get Out had a little bit of a ambiguous twist to it, though, because the people that were doing all that nefarious shit to the black dude were white liberal people, were white leftists. I tried never to call them liberals. They are not liberals. I cringe whenever I see, you know, people on the Donald Reddit or, you know, in the comment sections on articles and shit on conservative sites say, oh, the liberals, and complaining about the goddamn liberals, dude. There's nothing wrong with being liberal. It's about personal freedom and liberty. But it's the leftists who want to use the government to implement their goddamn agenda that is a problem. Oh, says he hit a pothole. Dude. Oh, that's fucking rough right there, dude. Ooh, Brother Murray's getting that upgrade. He's getting that BMW X5M. Let's pull that up. Oh shit. This the type shit Bradley Murray is on right now. Ooh, that little fucking sport utility vehicle, son. I see you with that. I see you with that. I just got my Outrage hatchback paid off, dude. David says, I wonder what conspiracy would make them the most likely to target you. I feel like Holocaust denial would be up there. Yeah. Yeah, the Holocaust denial might be up there. But the ultimate conspiracy theory they don't want you talking about is that, you know, the government steals your goddamn money and calls it collecting taxes. And they have a whole propaganda system set up to you know, teach you that that's not the case. I don't know why I'm looking at the picture-in-picture of me in the goddamn... looking at myself on YouTube. Archer says he'll go to the grave with his guns. Oh my God, you bigot! Don't you care about the mass shooting victims? All right, the victims of horrible white supremacy. All right, the guy didn't like illegal immigrants. All right, so that means white supremacy. Oh, even though he's just displaying the worst scummy aspects of white culture. The insane beta rage resentment that happens to a lot of white leftists. And they, you know, they're usually on the shorter end of the dick spectrum. All right, they're usually on the fugly end of the facial structure spectrum. All right, they're usually, you know, soft, pudgy individuals who enjoy sitting in their beanbag chairs and playing online video games and talking shit to people. And they usually don't succeed at that either. And then when they've run out of things to get resentful and hateful about, then, you know, and they run out of their antidepressant pills, they explode. But he was hardly making an example out of the supremacy of white people. He was kind of showing some of the worst aspects. Dave Krennic says, I'd rather have the new Jeep Gladiator or the Ford Bronco. I like that new Bronco. I saw some of those new Broncos. Oh, shit. I think these are out. Are these concept designs? I think they got the new Bronco out. Actually, I think these are concept designs. I've seen some. I've seen maybe it was a custom job, but I've seen some Ford Broncos around. This is the one I saw in LA. This thing is badass right here. That fucking, that's that 2020 Bronco with the roll cage, dude. And it's got the sweet little cursive on the side there, and that metallic fucking gray, that blue gray. Ooh, that shit looks pretty cold right there, son. What's up, Ty McCullough? Archer says, of course I care, but I care more about the liberty of the nation. You lose the firearms, you lose your free speech. Next thing you know, they're marching all rich white males to death camps. Well, I was being sarcastic, but I know, yeah, the only argument is the personal freedom argument. Why do you need an AR-15? To take out cretins like you when you encroach on my property. That's what Archer says back to him. Why do you need an AR-15? For slime bags like you when you step on my property unannounced. You know? Like to keep a safe distance. I don't want to catch any of your diseases. Alright? I need a long distance weapon for when you step on my property. Look up the Bronco derelict. Oh, dude, that's fucking hardcore. This is like fucking military Bronco. Oh shit. Yeah, that's kind of like they just commercialized the Bronco derelict. They put a roll cage on it. That's pretty goddamn gangsta. Archer says it's in the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. Yeah, dude. Why do you need a Ferrari? Why are you trying to police my badassery? Alright, some people want to go over the top with their goddamn badassness. Some people need a big ass goddamn gun. Some people like a car that goes way too fucking fast. You know? Some people want to be like the wolf in Pulp Fiction. It drives really fucking fast. For no goddamn reason. Frontal said, did you know Jacinda is doing another gun grab? Is Jacinda New Zealand? Oh, New Zealand's Prime Minister. Okay. Oh, look at her here. Pontificating. We're pontificating why she's not in the kitchen making a sandwich. Alright, she's pontificating about not understanding. Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, mystified by lack of U.S. gun control. Why don't they just trust the government to control all the firearms? What is their goddamn deal? New Zealand's Prime Minister has said she cannot understand. Oh, let's give you a picture of the article here. New Zealand's Prime Minister has said she cannot understand America's failure to ban automatic and semi-automatic guns despite dozens of mass shootings. Oh my god. And they just throw semi-autos in there like that's nothing. That's damn near all handguns. Oh, just throw the semi-autos in there as well. Just ban them. Despite dozens of mass shootings. Oh my god. Well, let's ban gang affiliation, because there seems to be a lot more death and destruction going on in Chicago overall than there are in these select few mass shootings that happen that are heavily publicized. Jacinda Ardern told CNN's Christiane Amanpour in unusually blunt language, quote, Australia experienced a massacre and changed its laws. New Zealand has had an experience and changed its laws. To be honest with you, I don't understand the United States. Oh my god, why don't they just capitulate to the criminals? Just change the laws and make it, criminalize the self-defense of the population. Why don't they make it easier for the criminals to just, have a sitting duck situation and just take them all out? The criminals already have guns. They're not going to abide by the law. So why don't we take the guns away from the law-abiding people and just have them be nice little sitting ducks at the carnival? Ardern is in Paris, where she's lobbying countries and global tech companies to sign the, quote, Christchurch Call, a voluntary pledge that aims to eradicate terrorist and violent content online in the wake of the worst mass shooting in New Zealand's modern history. Oh my God. That's the big concern. And they're putting it on Facebook. Oh, we have to stop it. Stop it now. David says, in the Bible, being ruled by women is a curse from God. Oh, Bradley Murray says, police here have badass cars, so we need upgrades all the time, Nick. You've heard of an arm race. It's a goddamn wheels race out there in Bradley Murray's neighborhood. Dude, it's a fucking horsepower race. Dude, Bradley Murray's got to upgrade the goddamn technology to keep up with the fucking popo. Fronthole says, point is, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Now they're taking all semi-autos. Yeah, it's the same thing with, like, the LGBTQ. Like, for every step that gets normalized, they just keep pushing another thing. Like, as soon as they got gay marriage, like, within a year, it was like, now transgenders are, you know, perfectly normal, and you can't say otherwise, or you're a bigot. And then, you know, transgender slowly getting normalized, and now it's like, pedophilia. You can't blame the pedophiles for having their impulses and their desires, and encroaching. It's a totalitarian takeover ideology. They will never be satisfied until they have complete control over the population and get to institute their agenda. Institute their wonderful little fantasy land there of equality. Oh, government mandated equality, which means we're going to squash down any excellence, any competence, any prosperity. Oh no, we can't have any of that. We can't have anybody thinking they're better than anyone else for any of their accomplishments. No, they must be hammered down, and we're all going to be equally mediocre. That's the lovely society that we all live in, that mediocre people, actual mediocre people, and loser-ass people, they lust after that fantasy. Oh my God, I would just feel so much better if everybody else was doing as shitty as me. Oh, we just gotta drag them down, drag the crabs back down in the bucket, all right, and make me feel better. But yeah, it's just a personal freedom argument. The government has no right to tell you what fucking tools you can purchase, what you can spend your goddamn money on. They're already taking entirely too much of your money and spending it on complete nonsense, and then they have the gall to be like, oh, and by the way, can't purchase a firearm. You can't play online poker. By the way, we haven't figured out how to, you know, how to worm our manipulative tentacles into that area yet, so off limits, tax cattle. Oh, I'm gonna get some more water here. Don't go outside of your grazing range, tax cattle. Okay, the government has a limited plot of land for you to graze upon. Do not step outside the borders of your grazing area. I mean, it is still the best situation to live in America because, you know, even though we are tax cattle, we're free-range tax cattle. All right, we do get the allowance of choosing our own careers. Oh, how fun. There's not government-arranged marriages. There's not a state religion. All right? So, you know, for historical standards, we've risen above the barbarism to some degree.
But I'm like Mark Wahlberg here with the Outrage crew on the battleship, ladies and gentlemen. We're just inspiring to be better. Every day, 4 a.m. club. I'm trying to get on the 4 a.m. club. I'm trying to revert my sleep schedule. I'm just inspiring to be better. That's why we're doing the Outrage cast in the middle of the day. All right, I'm inspiring to be better. I'm inspiring to have a goddamn weapon in the Outrage studios to protect my domicile. I'm inspiring to be better. What's up, Anonymous Anarchy? He says California isn't America. California is Mexico. I don't know, dude. Have you ever been to the 90210? You guys are talking about Archer says you can't blame pedos for being pedos. It's a mental illness, but we can blame their actions. Yeah, I mean, you can't criminalize the attraction to children. That's too subjective. So the only thing that can be criminalized are the actions. So if they actually carry it out, but you shouldn't. The attraction to children is something that should be socially shamed. That's in the purview of social shame. You can't throw somebody in a cage for being attracted to kids, but you can. It gets into a weird area, like if they have like pictures of underage kids, like if they have child porn. That's pretty. That gets into criminality. Because then it's like, I don't know, they're taking actions toward it to be exposed to it. But it's like, I bet there's some situations where dudes that are fucked up in the head and attracted to kids have just looked at pictures and videos online, and it's kept them from actually going after a kid in real life. I can see that aspect too. That's why the video game argument doesn't make any sense. Like, if you have rage pent up, sometimes you can release that rage by playing a fucking first-person shooter, and you can get it out of your system, and you don't feel necessary to go and fucking attack somebody. What's up, William Levine? Yeah! David says, I disagree. You can blame pedos for being pedos and for having pedophilic thoughts. Well, how do you determine somebody's thoughts? Are we getting into fucking, Minority Report here? I mean, the only thing you can police is if they have the kiddie porn on the computer, or if they actually, go after a kid. Anonymous Anarchy says, I'm 20 years old, been gaming my whole life, still haven't shot anyone yet, in all caps. Well, we hope that you'll abide by the non-aggression principle there. All right, we hope if you shoot somebody, it's because they're breaking into your goddamn domicile, sir. Trying to, you heard about kids getting doxxed and SWAT teamed? Like, they'll call a SWAT team to to somebody's house. Oh, while they're live streaming on Twitch or whatever. I think some dude got shot by people trying to play a prank on him. They called the cops and said he had a bomb or something at his house, and he was live streaming, and the cops showed up. And I think he got taken out there on the misinfo. David says, I was talking about the moral argument, that it's immoral to be internally wicked even if you don't break any laws, but you're right, we can't arrest people for having thoughts. Yeah, because there's no objective determination. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, are you guys going to go see The Hunt? Are you going to go see some, you going to go see this movie about, the white people with the southern draws getting their heads blown off? What could be more fun? Welcome back, Bradley Murray. Dave Krennic says, I love first-person shooters. but I can't play realistic first-person shooters like Call of Duty Medal of Honor. I got to play fantasy like Fallout or Star Wars games. Yeah, I could see that. That would probably bring back some bad memories for you, Dave Kranick. Yeah, it probably gets too real too quick. Yeah, I was obsessed with Call of Duty 4. That an entire summer went the ways of playing multiplayer online with my goddamn friends every night. We all had headsets. We would roll around in a clan and talk shit to people. And it was a good goddamn time for a summer. All right. But I possibly could have got laid that summer. I don't know. Probably would have, accidentally got, I probably would have got that whipsy daisy, high school pregnancy. Probably lucky I didn't. Salty says it's Netflix, right? I think it was going to, theaters. Universal Pictures, Blumhouse. It might have had a run on Netflix, just like Get Out. Because I think Get Out eventually got put on Netflix, but it was like it had a run in theaters too. Kill the deplorables. I mean, that's what they immediately go to in their fantasy land, because they have no arguments. They have no ideological ground to stand on. And their entire ideology is based on the justification of violence through the government. They don't view taxation as theft. They don't view it as the initiation of force. And so they don't see any problem with coercing people into their ideology. That's democracy. Oh, we voted on it, so you have to do it. Gun to your head. Isn't it civilized? And that's the opposite of civilization. Civilization is making an argument for what you believe to be true, providing your evidence, providing empiricism, providing data, providing statistics, making the goddamn argument and convincing other people. It's not putting a gun to somebody's head and being like, well, we voted, so you got to do this. Oh, Dave Kranick's going to go see that Hobbs and Shaw tonight. I've heard it's a big, as far as action movies go, I've heard it's got a lot of big crazy-ass set pieces and shit. Might be pretty good as far as a just turn your brain off, action flick. And the Outrage Chancellor just ninja-like killed a goddamn gnat in the Outrage Studios, dude. Not even a gnat, a mosquito. Alright. Now you see the ninja skills of the Outrage Chancellor. It's no longer the theoretical John Wick, dude. You just saw the John Wick skills get applied into reality. You're not going to hunt this deplorable. Alright? Tatiana says, what's the movie called? It's called The Hunt. We just watched the trailer. We'll watch it again here in a second. Hold on. Manager's calling. Hello. Yeah, he's I think he may still be down there. He may be gone. He said he would lock it when he leaves. Okay. All right, bye. All right, I'm gonna play this trailer one more time. Actually, I'll be right back. I want to watch it with you guys and comment on the trailer, but I gotta run down here and check with the bug sprayer guy, the exterminator down here in one of the other apartments. I'm gonna go check up on him real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, these managerial duties in the middle of the day fucking with the stream a little bit. But I'm gonna take an outrage piss here real quick. We're gonna watch this trailer one more time together. Be right back. Alrighty. Tell the pussy eater to stop pissing in the street, bro. John Wick makes me laugh because all the villains are irredeemably evil Russian people. That was some of the propaganda they were leading into as well. Beware of all the dirty Russians. So let's go through this trailer one more time. I'm gonna try to pause it enough so where I don't get the copyright shit.
Hey there. Help you? What state is this?
Sorry.
You don't understand the question?
Oh, no, I didn't. Most people know where they are.
Why ain't most people?
You're in the glorious state of Arkansas, sweetheart.
How'd you know they was lying?
Well, this ain't Arkansas, so.
Oh my god! They're always lying when they got a southern drawl, dude!
Everyone is lying.
Your idea is incredible.
Thank you.
Oh my god, delicious, let's just hunt them, yes! And Hillary Swank just has that psycho leftist look in her eye.
Argue with that. We pay for everything, so this country belongs.
Perfect casting for Hillary Swank. She's just, I buy it totally. She probably, had this idea legitimately, and they're like, wait, we can't actually do that. Let's make a movie.
It's us.
It's just business. Hunting human beings for sport.
They're not human beings.
Can you imagine if this was anybody but white Southern people? They're not human beings. What the fuck?
Every year, a bunch of elite.
And this is played for comedy. At least, Get Out was played for some goddamn horror.
Kidnap normal folk like us.
And they're played as like, these are the people that are succeeding in society. They're the elites, and these are the scrounging, dirty people here. They're not human, all right, because they're poor and white and they have a southern drawl. Oh my god.
Wyoming,
Mississippi?
Orlando.
and hunt us for sport. Hurry up.
So
Oh, the leftists are just jizzing in their pants, aren't they?
it's true. We're being hunted.
Hey, what on the wait? What is happening?
Oh my god. Alright, I think we've seen enough of this horse shit, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've seen enough. Another copyright notice. They're probably going to try to take the goddamn stream down. What up, Pole Meister? We're just watching the newest batch of leftist propaganda here. You guys are talking about video games. Yeah, dude. I used to be heavily into the Call of Duty 4. I used to be heavily into Madden, into the NBA video games. All right, but my life improved dramatically when I stopped playing the goddamn video games. Then you can focus on turning your actual life into a video game and leveling up. Dave Cranick says, I always thought that Hollywood was the way the elites desensitized the public to what their agenda was. That's a good way of looking at it. They roll out the extreme, like, satirized version, the caricature of what their actual agenda is. And it's like, you can tell which side is more violent. The right always gets blamed for being more violent because they're, the gun owners and, the real masculine individuals are usually on the right end of the spectrum. And it's like, no, those are the people with restraint. Those are the people that you can trust with lethal force. They're the people with nerves of steel in the goddamn military like Dave Cranick, who aren't gonna, flip out and have friendly fire and have a goddamn disaster. And they're the people you can trust. They can keep their cool in dangerous ass situations. The leftists are the ones that you don't want to give lethal force to because they have no restraint. They're just going to go fucking wild with the shit like you see Antifa. They're just, berserk on their own delusions. And so they don't even have any rational evaluation of what the fuck is going on. And it's like, yeah, we're going to take on the Proud Boys. And like, there's like these giant biker dudes, that they're going up against. And it's like, what are you doing? You think you can just gang up on people and there's no repercussions? They do not want, they have all this rhetoric and the violent rhetoric is only coming because they don't have any intellectual arguments. They're intellectually bankrupt. It's not because they can fight. It's not because they have a competent, fighting strategy. They're not reading The Art of War, dude. They're out there throwing chairs through Starbucks windows, just hoping to get likes on Twitter. What's up, Aaron Freeman? He's jizzing in his pants for Western civilization. Well, I hope to leave all the Outrage crew. I hope to leave all their pants wet at the end of every stream. We're gonna soak those pants, ladies and gentlemen, for Western civilization. Polmeister says Bernie had good rhetoric, but it's all seductive pipe dreams. Oh my God, him on Rogan. I cannot believe the amount of propagandized, dumbed down, idiotic responses I've heard to that. Just the worshiping and the fawning of Bernie Sanders. Like, oh my God, he's a real guy. He's not just a politician. And he went on Joe Rogan and he said, fuck. Oh my God, he's so real. I can't believe he went on Joe Rogan and he's so smart. He's such a genius. Yeah, Rogan made him sound like a genius because Rogan doesn't push back on any of his goddamn horseshit ideas. Bernie Sanders is an apologist for a government takeover of the economy. That's all socialism and communism is. Socialism is one piece of the puzzle to communism. So everybody scoffs when you call Bernie Sanders a communist. Oh my God, you alarmist. Because they have this propaganda in their head that everybody who calls somebody a communist is some like backwoods right-winger redneck fuck who's looking at a hippie, who the hippie is just trying to smoke weed and have sex and have fun and oh, the backwoods Christian redneck idiot, banjo playing, fucking hillbilly. He looks at the hippie and he's like, oh, you commie bastard. And it's like it's looked at as like this retarded insult that's meaningless because people know nothing about economics. They don't know anything about what actually constitutes communism. It's exactly Bernie Sanders' ideology. It's having the federal government run industry, which is what he wants to do with healthcare. It's what he wants to do with college. It's what he wants to do with all these big companies. We just need state control over them. They need to be regulated by the state. They need to be controlled by the state. They need to be run by the state. Oh, Bernie wants a federal takeover. We need it. When the government isn't big enough. Just the psychotic delusion to buy into that dude's horse shit. You can't just look at him and see he's a failure. He's a career politician fucking gremlin. sitting over there with a hunchback just wanting to spend your money for you. And people buy into this? You want Bernie Sanders to choose what you spend your money on instead of deciding for yourself what you spend your money on. What the fuck is wrong with you? He's a hunchback demon creature sitting up there when he combs his hair with a balloon. I have the plan for what your money should be spent on. You wouldn't want to make any of that evil profit, would you? No, just let me handle all your money. I'll make all the profit. As I demonize profit. The fuck? How are people having this positive reaction to Bernie Sanders? Like, it's just a it's a testament to how little economics is taught in school. And the lack of historical context for socialism and communism. Do you realize what the fuck this guy represents? God, it's unbelievable, dude. Polmeister says Bernie points out the right problems, but is absolutely the wrong person. No, he doesn't even point out the right problems because he blames it all on capitalism. Meanwhile, people in his position are the ones that are enabling all the problems with capitalism. They're the people that say, we're going to get in there and fix capitalism. We're going to make sure the businesses have ethical practices. The government doesn't have ethical practices. They get in there and prop up the big multinational corporations. They say they're going to regulate them. And all that happens is you get this incestuous relationship between big business and government. And that lets big business cut out their competition when they get tax breaks, when they get regulations passed that small business and entrepreneurs can't comply with. And so you cut all the small competition out of the game. That's what happened to my dad, dude, when Walmart moved into town in my hometown, Ponca City. Oh, you're selling bikes? My dad had a bicycle shop. Oh, you're selling bikes. Oh, cute. Oh, we're at Walmart. Oh, we here at Walmart, we're going to show your motherfucking ass how to sell a bike. Okay? It's going to be for $30. It's going to fall completely apart in 3 weeks, but the consumer doesn't know that. All they're looking at is the goddamn price tag. It's a plastic hunk of shit, all right? And then my dad, he sustained his business for another, year or 2 years just on repairs alone because everybody was bringing in their horseshit Walmart bikes, being like, I don't know what happened. And he's like, I know what happened. You cut the corners on the cost, and now you're paying for it on the back end, aren't you? Archer says, Bernie Sanders was on Joe Rogan's podcast. How come nobody told me? Dude, check that podcast feed. But yeah, he doesn't even point out the right problems. Because all the problems originate with government. And Bernie blames it on, the profiteers that is out here trying to profit. That's one of the safety nets for ethical business practices is the profit motive. Because if people find out you're doing some nefarious shit, they're not going to want to do business with you. If you're discriminating against groups of people, you're going to be cutting out the market that you could be selling to, and your profits are going to be limited. Companies want to maximize their profit, so they want to maximize their likability in the public sphere, and they have to remain providing value to the customers. In a free market, if you don't provide the best value to the customers, you're not going to make the most profit. But in the crony capitalist, pseudo-socialist environment we have now, it's the companies that are the fastest rising and the most ruthless making these deals with government that get to cut their competition out, and then big business gets a bad name because they have all these shoddy business practices, and it doesn't fucking matter because they've already established a monopoly. They already have a relationship with the government. They can already cut out their competition, and they can just continue to exist, even though nobody's actually liking what the service or the product they're providing. Dave Kranick says Bernie is a profiteer because of his book. Yeah, why doesn't he spread the wealth of the money he made from that book? Anonymous Anarchy says, imagine voting at all. Well, that's... Before Trump, that was the decision I'd come to. Because I saw how Ron Paul basically got fucked over in the Republican primary in 2012. And so I was like, fuck this, I'm not even voting. I'm not voting for Obama or Romney. Go fuck your mother. And then Trump came along and I'm like, well, we definitely have to avoid Hillary Clinton. And we definitely have to avoid every Democratic nominee on that fucking potential nominee on that stage. They're all completely unhinged and psychotic. And they want nothing but, you know, to bribe their base with free shit and expand the size and scope of the federal government and continue the takeover operation. So they must be kept out of power. Paulmeister says political campaigns should not be financed by the public sphere. It makes politicians dependent on donations. It's bad if politicians are hooked on their donors. Well, yeah, there has to be a separation of state and economics. And that has not happened. All right? Because if you let the economic sphere influence the political sphere, all they're going to do is, tag team the public. They're going to get together and put a tag team Eiffel Tower on the goddamn taxpayer. When you let big business and big government get together, all they're going to do is gangbang the taxpayer. That's what happens, dude. The big banks finance Obama's campaign, get him elected, and when the big banks fail, we're going to bend the taxpayer right over for you now. We're going to spread those cheeks for you. Let you right in. But yeah, just the sheer comments. Like, let's read some of the comments on the Bernie Rogan episode. Because it's just so retarded. Alright, there's my comment. Too bad Joe doesn't know a shred of economics to push back against Bernie's communist federal takeover agenda. We already have the biggest, most inefficient, and most indebted federal government in the history of the country. You know what isn't the solution to that problem? Giving them more power! Alright. Number one comment. Rogan gets a lot of shit for being an unserious guy when it comes to politics, but show me anyone on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, etc. that has done a more substantive interview about real issues than that. Huge respect to him for doing this. Well, it would be a little more substantive if he actually had, one microcosm of goddamn economic knowledge to, push back against any of the shit that Bernie's spewing. Any of this goddamn nonsense. People are talking about the media only talks about 1 minute. Blah, blah, blah. What an informative look into Bernie Sanders. So refreshing to hear a smart, calm, and substantive conversation on serious issues. Oh my God. It's all just overflowing positivity for commie Bernie. I'm a registered Democrat and was not entirely sold on Bernie Sanders. It was about the 15-minute mark that I began to realize something. Say what you want, but it was something emotional. Bernie Sanders was igniting a spark in me, an ignition of empathy, optimism, and serious concern, not only for this country, but for every citizen in this country, political views aside. Oh my God, he sparked some emotion inside you. You're getting fucking hoodwinked by this communist snake. Oh my God, that's the allure of it, dude. That's the fucking allure, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, he sparked the emotions inside me. Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? He sparked the emotions inside me where I realized that I have no free will and the government shall determine my destiny, and I want Bernie Sanders to be able to spend my money for me. I'm just handing my wallet over to Bernie. Give me that 70% tax. Because he's going to try to tax the quote-unquote super rich, and we all know it's never going to happen because the super rich have resources to be able to avoid taxes, and they can get the tax breaks, and they can move out of the goddamn country if they want.
You're never going to be able to tax the super rich at 70%. They're just going to move out of the goddamn country. They're going to move their operation overseas, dude. You're not going to tax them at 70%. So where do those 70% taxes go to? The old trickle-down theory, all right? And they talk about trickle-down economics not being real, even though everybody has a goddamn iPhone in their pocket because rich people invested in the research and development for Apple. And now it's all affordable for everybody to have a goddamn iPhone. But you know what's real is trickle-down tax code. When you try to implement 70% taxes on the super rich, well, guess what? The super rich have resources to move the fuck out of the country. And they have lobbying teams that they pay to exempt themselves from the taxes. So, where do those taxes end up? Trickling down to these small business owners, to the entrepreneurs that are making $1 million, $2 million a year. And it's like, oh my God, they're super rich. No, you're just collapsing the middle class economy. That's what socialism and communism is. Disincentivizing working hard and being successful. Punishing people for creating their own thing while the super elites get to exempt themselves because they're, cozied up in bed with the goddamn government. Dave Kranick says the rich are already taxed at 86%. They're already taxed out of their ass. And it's not benefiting anybody in the lower classes, dude. Yeah, he sparked emotion inside of me, dude. So goddamn gay. How did this country get so goddamn feminine and gay, dude? Oh, Bernie comes his head with a balloon. I'm just going to hand over my wallet to him. He's going to give me free government pussy. The fuck? Salty says, let them move out of the country, then tax them 90%. Well, here's the thing. You can't tax them if they're out of the country. Be a good little goy. Dave Kranick says, wonder why Bernie wasn't at the Democratic Socialist Convention because it was a train wreck. Oh, dude. Because he doesn't want to, go and mingle with the plebeians. He just wants to, sit in his goddamn mansion and talk about how he cares for the underdog. Yeah, the top 1% already pays 90% of all the taxes collected. Yeah. Yeah. And wonder why we're not having any big breakthrough technological innovations anymore when the rich are as heavily taxed as they are. They're fucking leveraged up to the top, dude. You think they're living in the lap of luxury just because they're rich? Your expenses go up when your lifestyle goes up, dude. These people are, they're leveraged the fuck out. They don't have a bunch of excess capital floating around to be able to invest into research and development for new, innovative technologies and everything. Ugh. Where's the new industrial revolution? Turns out a big, bloated-ass federal government isn't that great for innovation. Notice you don't see a lot of, science and technology headlines. Oh, new breakthrough on this and that. And, we figured something out. It's like, no, all the news is about how insane the politicians are because they're the narcissistic sociopaths at the heart of everybody's attention because that's where everybody's goddamn money is going to. That's where everybody's money is flowing to. It's through this psychotic criminal filter of the government and everything. And it's all this, arguing over, who gets to decide what the criminal filter does with all of our money. And it's like, we wouldn't have to argue if we all just kept our own money and spent it however we fucking liked. But we have this criminal organization that reigns over us and hangs over our head, manipulating all of our decisions and, taking our fucking money out of our wallet. And then we have to argue with each other and be at each other's throats about
what the psychotic criminal government does with everybody's money, because it's such a big deal, because that's why the political shit is life and death, because it's like, oh my God, this is my fucking money, it's going to this. Salty says if they want to do business, they'll pay import taxes. Well, you could do that, but then you're just going to pay and do import taxes on everything that comes in. Then we're not going to get, a lot of the shit we enjoy from other countries that make it at a very cheap price, which helps out the economy. And so it's all this government manipulation of the economy. It always ends up hitting a plethora of roadblocks and fucking problems, and because one centralized monopoly of force can't predict the economic transactions of 320 million people in a goddamn country. It's the height of narcissism and fucking hubris to think that you can manipulate the economy for 320 million people. We figured it all out. We got small hats and high IQ and chutzpah. We'll just be here in the Federal Reserve. Don't audit us. You goyim. Bradley Murray says, I was with a girl the other night in Weatherspoon's pub in Manchester, and there was a white kid about 15, 16, and I felt sick, super sad, Because you saw a 15-year-old in a bar? You got sad? I don't understand. Kiki says Bernie is a thug and straight out thief and a prostitute. He's horrible and needs to sell his 3 houses and shut up. Yeah, dude. It's so unbelievable how people are just willing to give away all of their free will, because a lot of these people commenting on the Rogan thing are just broke losers who have no prospects in the free market. And so they're like, yeah, Bernie's going to give me free shit. So they don't see it as, oh, Bernie's taking my money and spending it on what he thinks is right. And he's doing it at the point of a gun. There's no morality in it. And it's all this raw, resource seeking. Oh my God, he sparked some emotion in me. I'm going to get a government check. I'm going to get my student loans dissolved. Meanwhile, the economy is going to collapse. The federal government gets any goddamn bigger. Because the federal government equals inefficiency. It equals criminality. It equals corruption. We need less of that, not more. If we get any much more of it, all right, I don't think the economy is going to be able to sustain itself. Because there's just so much incompetence in government. And you're cutting out all of the innovation that's supposed to be coming up in the next generation with all these potential small business and small business owners and entrepreneurs. They're just cut out of the picture because they can't comply with the regulations. They can't get the government licensing. They can't get the stamp of approval from the tyrants to be able to conduct their business. And they get run out of business like my goddamn dad with his bike shop. They can't compete with the big multinationals that are, in the circle jerk with the government there. It's not good for the fucking economy. Dave Krennic says, I make quite a bit of money. Figure this. I make Damascus slides for gun customization. An average slide for a 1911 is $400. I sell mine for $3,000. I sell between 8 and 12 slides a month. And he pays roughly $10,000 a month in taxes. So yeah, you're paying damn near a third of what you make in the goddamn taxes. Bernie Sanders is going to use that for his his lubrication fund. All right, he's got an old dry dick, needs a lot of lubrication. His woman's got an old dry snatch. All right, he needs lots of paste. The government needs to finance that, sexual assault slush fund, dude. You got to finance Anthony Weiner's dick pics. More water, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, it's just sad, man, how uneducated the populace is on economics. All they have to do is fucking have the kids read economics in one lesson in a goddamn school course. But of course they won't do that, because then they'll start to question, hey, why are my parents being forced to finance this horseshit education? Oh. Wouldn't want the kids to ask that? Because Austrian economic theory is all about providing value to the market and being compensated accordingly. But the teachers there in the public schools that read off of the Common Core worksheet and just robotically teach it to you, well, they're not providing a lot of value, so they don't like that theory. No. We just need to be paid more just because. Because education's valuable in general. Well, no. An actual education is valuable. Teaching kids propaganda and pretending like it's an education, not that valuable. That's why everybody's expected to go to a 4-year university now. Because 12 years of government schooling just ain't enough for you to get even the most rudimentary entry-level job. You're completely economically worthless after 12 intensive years of study. And so now, to have any viability in the market at all, you have to go and spend at least $20,000 in a goddamn university. Dave Krennic says handcrafted products are going to the wayside, especially blacksmithing. Well, I think there's always going to be a market for well-crafted, quality shit that has an artistic touch to it. If you'd like to contribute some value to the Outrage Chancellor, it's paypal.me/Outrage TV, or there's a little link in the low bar there, and there's a Bitcoin link there. If you'd like to donate to the Western Civilization Defense Fund, ladies and gentlemen, we're shaming the commies. We're calling them out to their old fucking gremlin, combing hair with balloon faces. Oh my God. Like these comments on the Rogan thing. As a conservative, this is the only Democratic president I love and will vote for. Oh! You're not a conservative if you love Bernie Sanders, dude. You're a goddamn phony. There's nothing conservative about, having giant federal takeovers of the economy. It's called the Soviet Union. The fuck are people talking about, dude? So this is why Bernie is the best candidate to protect the American middle class and unions from the greediest corporations that are hurting America. Interesting. Oh yes, it's the greedy corporations. It's not the government that enables their monopolistic behavior. So goddamn retarded. I can't even stand it, dude. What's up, Earth is flat? Yeah, dude, we're in this middle of the goddamn day. You know what it is. We're on that, we're all hopped up on caffeine, creatine, and electrolytes, dude. We're shaming the communists. We're calling Bernie Sanders out for the criminal enterprise that he's trying to establish. I love Bernie, man. A true and honest politician in this day and age is so refreshing. Oh, yeah. He honestly wants a tyrannical takeover of your economy, and he wants to dictate it himself. Even if Bernie Sanders has, nice little let's ascribe to the best of intentions to Bernie Sanders. Let's say he's just legitimately warped in his head, and he thinks that this is the best way to organize society, is to disincentivize profit and innovation and take away the money, all the money from the most productive people and give it to the unproductive people. And, it didn't work out too well in the Soviet Union, and it ended up in gulags and starvation en masse and under Mao in China, starvation en masse. But, let's pretend that doesn't exist, and history doesn't exist, and economics doesn't exist. And, and it all comes down to, Bernie Sanders' loving, nice little intentions, okay? His loving little old man intentions, and he really wants to take care of you, and oh my God, government is daddy. Let's say that's all true. Who comes after Bernie Sanders once all of these federal systems have been set up, these federal systems of control, and then once the federal government is running 60, 70+% of the entire economy? Who's coming after Bernie Sanders? Who's going to step into that system? They're not going to be able to... we all know temporary government programs always become permanent. The war on terror is still going on. The war on poverty is still going on. Any progress? Any, actual success of the program? No, but it's still going on, War on drugs, still going on. Oh, we're still keeping it going, baby. We're keeping it rolling. Government programs that are supposed to be temporary. The income tax was supposed to be temporary. Oh, forget about that. No, it's going on ad infinitum. Never ending into infinity. You're going to continue to pay your income tax. So, when all these big federal takeovers happen in the economy, who's going to step in next? Oh, then we might get the nice, friendly little Stalin or Hitler or Mao that comes after Bernie Sanders, after they have the big federal complex set up with all this control over the economy. Are we just going to trust that we're going to have some benevolent dictator up there pulling all the levers of the economy and determining your goddamn economic destiny? Oh, sounds really fun. Let's just trust that they won't kill us all. Yeah, these are real comments, dude. They're all positive. They're literally all positive. There's no fucking pushback. And it is cool that Joe Rogan has presidential candidates on his show. But the lack of economic understanding is just horrifying. It's really just... It's fucking scary, dude. Nobody knows a goddamn thing about economics. I think you should have to have take an economics test to be able to vote. It used to be that that economics test. That's how the founders set it up. It was basically an economics test. You had to be a landowner. You had to be you had to be holding assets. You had to have skin in the game to be able to vote. So that's a good litmus test, because the people that are commenting and loving Bernie Sanders are the biggest losers in society who have no prospects in the free market, or at least perceive no prospects in the free market. And so they just want handouts of free shit. And it's totally amoral. There's no, examination of the moral philosophy behind the ideology, and, who's getting a gun pointed at their head, and no, they're just rich people. They're not humans. It's like the trailer for the Hunt movie. It's the same thing with the Deplorables. Oh, they're not humans. They're Trump supporters. Just put a gun to their head and pull the fucking trigger till it goes click. That's the ideology of these, squirming, little fucking demon leftists who are like, oh, just take all their money and give it to us. We'll be the tyrants. Yes, we'll control it. You goddamn morons. You're living in a society that was built by, the most industrious, fucking innovative, hard working ass people in the in the history of Western civilization, and you enjoy all of these benefits of your indoor plumbing and your electricity that always comes on, and your internet and your smartphone and all this shit that was, you know, built on the backs of hardworking, fucking super successful people that knew what the fuck they were doing. And now the solution is, oh no, we hate those people because they got all the money, so we hate them. So fuck them, give us all their money so I can, you know, buy hookers on Craigslist. I don't know what these people want to do with their free government money, dude. It's definitely not anything that's going to benefit the economy at large. It's just, Bernie's an absolute joke, and the amount of people that just surface level take him as like just another good guy, and he just wants to, you know, he's fighting the establishment. What? He's growing the establishment. That's what the federal government is, dude. All this demonization of capitalism. It's so retarded. Capitalism is voluntary interactions between consenting individuals. It's economic transactions, dude. There's no victim. There's always a victim at the end of every government law. At the end of every government law, if you don't comply, you're going to get a gun to your head. And if you don't comply with the gun to your head, well, you're going in a cage. If you don't want to go to the cage, you're going to get shot dead in your goddamn house. That's the end of every law if you don't comply to the very end. Is a bullet in your goddamn head. Nobody puts a bullet in your head if you don't shop at Target. Nobody sees the violence inherent in government, and it's really fucking disturbing, dude. Now here's a good comment I can get behind. Somebody says, I'd pay big money to watch Biden slur his way through a podcast. I would definitely support Joe Biden getting on the goddamn Rogan cast. And well, you got any little kid necks for me to sniff around here? Or, is it okay to take a nap in the middle of the podcast, Joe? You know, he would go for a piss break, and then after about 20 minutes, they'd be like, "Where's Joe?" You know, and he'd be, you know, passed out on the goddamn trying to sit down to piss, and he'd pass out on the goddamn toilet. Earth is flat is coming in with his communist horse shit. I think you mean the free market, Nick. You think I mean free market with what? He's saying UBI would really help the economy. No, you can't tax the super rich, dude. It's not going to happen. Those taxes always trickle down to the next bracket. Because the super rich, guess what? They have lobbying teams. They can buy off politicians. They can pass regulations. They can pass tax breaks, dude. They have politicians in their pocket. They're not going to get taxed. They're either going to escape the tax, they're going to sidestep the tax, or they're just going to move out of the goddamn country and operate internationally, dude. There's a huge international market. They don't have to do business with America if they jack up their goddamn taxes. And so that ultimately just hurts our economy, because then we're not getting, you know, what Amazon or whatever the fuck it is. We're not getting their service anymore because we tax the fuck out of them. Earth is Fiat says capitalism is controlled by money. Satanism, it's why we got dude, that's the most retarded shit ever. Control by money? No, money is a tool that represents value that you exchange for goods and services. All it is a representation for value that's fungible. Control by money? No, control by money is when big business works with government. All right, crony capitalism is controlled by money. The Federal Reserve System is controlled by money. When they can, you know, inflate the currency at will and control the interest rates for 320 million people. That's controlled by money. It has nothing to do with capitalism, with the free exchange of goods and services. Voluntary interactions between consenting individuals. That's not the Federal Reserve System. That's not the big government system. Bradley Murray says, like you said, Nick, you have no skin in the game. Yeah, but I still recognize the economic arguments, dude. Just like I don't know fundamentally how to shoot a gun, but I still recognize the personal freedom arguments of owning a goddamn gun. It's like nobody gives a fuck about the truth anymore. It's just whatever's just subjectively convenient for me. Whatever applies to me. It's all about me and me and me. And what the fuck? It's about what's true, dude. It's true that you're an individual with the freedom that you own your own body, so you own the effects of your actions. And so for anybody to step into that equation and be like, that's where the line is drawn, you owe me the rest of that money. It's like, for what? I don't agree to this goddamn contract. All right, Polmeister. Dave Krennic says, what we really need is tax designation. That way when we pay taxes, we determine to what the taxes actually go to. No, it's about keeping your own money. And then you can determine where your money goes to. As soon as you allow a monopolistic external organization to take your money by force, you are never going to have accountability for how that money is spent. Of course they're going to fuck you over. Of course they're super corrupt. They're stealing your money. They don't give a fuck. They're the mafia, dude. You're never going to get a receipt for that money. You're never going to get actual accountability. The only way to control where your money goes is to keep your money. And then you can spend it on whatever the fuck you want. Oh shit, what up, Alan James? Good to see you on a daytime stream here. Earth is Flat is getting into weird, tangential things when I just obliterated his argument against capitalism. Now he just says, it says, in God we trust on the money for a reason. I don't know what that means. It seems like it's indoctrinating the Christian people into the Federal Reserve System. That's what it's doing. Alan, have you seen that? Have you seen that trailer for the movie talking about hunting deplorables? We watched the trailer a couple times now. We might get some copyright strikes for looking at the trailer. But there's this movie that's supposed to be coming out in September called The Hunt, where these groups of southern sounding white people, they get kidnapped, and it's kind of like a Hunger Games Purge type movie where they just these leftist elites, they're playing this fun little game where they hunt the deplorables because the leftists, they don't have any arguments anymore, so they have to exercise their violent fantasies through the silver screen there. Earth is Flat says it means you're a slave to Satan. Oh, you talking about the government? I agree. Being forced to pay your taxes, that means you're a slave to Satan. All right? We're all slaves to Satan, unfortunately, until the outrage battleship grows, until the message gets spread, ladies and gentlemen. Until enough people realize that taxation is theft, all right, we're not going to realize that we're actually slaves. Because we abolished actual slavery for the civilized world until Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton brought it back in Libya, but that's another story. But the next revolution to the moral revolution to happen is we got to realize that we're being enslaved by the government and convinced that we need it. The Earth is Flat says that pyramid with the eye above it on the $1, that's Satan. Well, thank you for your imageology there. Doesn't really amount to much of an argument. All right, the Federal Reserve is evil. We know this. What the fuck? Bradley Murray says rob post offices then, like me. Bradley Murray says, I am controlled by money. Me learned my money locked up, though. What? Bradley Murray apparently is out there. He's going postal. He's robbing the post office. Dude, he's taking all the stamps. All right? He's a stamp collector. This summer, Bradley Murray is the stamp collector. He's going postal. You know, see Bradley Murray peeling off in his whip, you know, with the fucking stamp collector. The big book of stamps, dude. He's robbing them blind. Oh, God. The earth is flat. Says he's deep down the Owen Benjamin rabbit hole of retardation. He says, that's why they teach you the earth is a globe and you come from a monkey. Oh, my God. What's the incentive to teach me that the earth is a globe when it's actually flat, sir? I think he's trolling. And we came from apes, dude. We definitely came from apes. I feel like an ape all the goddamn time. Bradley Murray in a goddamn satirical action comedy where he's robbing the post office just to get back at the government. And he's just taking the stamps, dude. And it's just mildly annoying for them, but he treats it like a bank heist. You know? He comes in there sticking, put all the stamps in the fucking bag. All the stamps in the bag. William Vanya says Owen Benjamin actually said that. Well, he's a little anti-capitalism because he justifies the government. All right, because he doesn't fundamentally have any rock-solid principles, ladies and gentlemen. The earth is flat says we didn't come from monkeys, we mixed with them. Yes, you're getting into the goddamn, the technicalities of the situation. We came from came from the shared ancestor there. Snatch 2 starring Bradley Murray. Yeah, snatch them stamps. Snatching stamps with Bradley Murray. Run in with a sledgehammer and have an okay driver outside. David says, conflating the doubts of evolutionary theory with the doubts of the earth being a globe seems like a very Jewish way of trying to promote evolutionary theory. Well, I promote evolutionary theory in comparison to just saying that we came from Adam and Eve and God did everything, because that's a non-answer. I mean, at least evolutionary theory is an attempt to explain the phenomena that we're witnessing scientifically. And so I'm not saying it's true. There's no definitive proof for it. There is transitionary fossils in the record, and if you don't think that the whole carbon dating thing is an entire big hoax purveyed on the public, there seems to be some veracity there. So it's at least a scientific attempt to explain what the fuck happened to biology over time. But yeah, I'm not trying to conflate, doubts about evolutionary theory with doubts about the Earth being round. They're totally separate category. I get what you're saying, David. Yeah, we mixed with Neanderthals but didn't evolve from them. Some people living today actually have Neanderthal in their DNA. Yeah, dude. That's why, the Europeans, they evolved from, a little bit of that Neanderthal DNA, but those prehistoric Europeans, they were out there throwing them spears at the goddamn woolly mammoths, dude. That's why, 9 out of the 10 quarterbacks in the top 10 passing yards of all time are white dudes. Reading that defense, dude. They're reading the rush of the woolly mammoth coming at them, dude. They got to be accurate, motherfucker. They got to read the defense. They got to hit that pinpoint pass. All right, Warren Moon is the one black quarterback in the top 10, and I do think he was very light-skinned. All right, I think there's some Neanderthal or white European DNA in there somewhere. Bradley Murray says there's a fish that can walk on land. I don't doubt it, dude. That's that mud skipper. That's that goddamn mud skipper, dude. I gotta do an outrage piss. We'll come back and get a little more water. More water. Give me all of your fucking stamps. I'm the stamp collector. Bradley Murray is, this summer, he's going postal. Getting revenge on the government for Western civilization. Petty stamp theft just to get into high-speed police chases, ladies and gentlemen. Is Nick calling black people mud skippers? How dare you, dude? Black people hate water. All right, they're not in the water. They stay on land. Earth is Flat says, y'all need to realize school is all lies. Well, yeah, they mix a lot of lies in there with some truth and get you very confused, dude. They have you guessing because it's government education. They got to stick to that common core of propaganda of teaching you that the government comes in, swoops in, and solves all your goddamn problems. But they also can teach you some legitimate math and science there. Rated P.O. Box 13. Bradley Murray says, I was in York, England last weekend. Was in a real Viking site. Sick it was. What's a real Viking site? Earth is Flat says the media, the government, and schools are all lying to you. Yeah. Very true, because the media and the schools are all getting that federal money there, which means they're corrupted to the core. That's why Bernie Sanders, he's the merchant of just turning everything into diarrhea. Everything the government touches turns to, soft serve diarrhea. Everything the government does, it's two branches, one cup. Two parties, one cup. That's what the government is, dude. It's not two girls, one cup. It's two parties, one cup. That's soft serve doo-doo, all right? You put delicious food into the party system, and, good ideas, and then out comes the soft serve. Every time, dude. Put that tax money in there, the nice tax money that could have been used for things that are valuable in people's lives, and you put it into the government system. Oh, two parties, one cup. It's a soft serve doo-doo machine, dude. That's what the Federal Reserve. That's what the federal government is, and the Federal Reserve. Bernie Sanders is a goddamn soft serve doo-doo machine. And like 90% of the problems we're experiencing in society right now are all because the government is so goddamn big and out of control. And Bernie just went, we need more government. And everybody's like, yes, less responsibility for me. Just have daddy government do it. It makes me feel good to not have to worry about anything. Oh, you're going to worry. If you get a big fucking government leftist in there with how big the government already is, we're going to have either an economic collapse, a tyrannical takeover, or both. Alan James says Bradley can clean out a whole post office. Meanwhile, Nick can't figure out how to open a single P.O. box. Well, dude, it's like, I think it's like $20 for fucking 6 months or some shit. I just got to go down the street and do it. There's a little mailroom down the street that'll let me open up that P.O. PayPal.me/Outrage TV, ladies and gentlemen. Want to contribute to the P.O. Box Fund? No, I actually got a really good tip on Postmates today. And I spent a little bit of chunk of change on some goddamn shirts. I got some of these eBay shirts, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be looking like Tyler Durden, ladies and gentlemen. I got some goddamn rayon shirts. That's the poor man's silk. All right, I got some pseudo silk button downs for about $13 a pop on eBay. All right, they're being shipped from Hong Kong, so they'll probably arrive in about 6 months. All right, but we got some decent looking shirts, ladies and gentlemen. Well, yeah, party people. I think I'm gonna head up to the gym here and put down a pizza. All right, and maybe get a nap in for the mic. All right. It's been a good goddamn time. We've all witnessed the Hollywood propaganda, and we've witnessed the economic retardation of the public in the comment section of the Joe Rogan Experience here. And Archer says, speaking of shirts, black shirt's not a good sit when you got dandruff. Well, are you talking about dandruff on the Outrage Chancellor shirt? Because this is not dandruff. All right, it's designed speckling on the shirt, but it does look like I have horrific dandruff. You know? It does look like I have horrific dandruff, dude. The worst fucking fit of dandruff I've ever seen. Alan James says, Brad, what was that teenager who threw a kid over the edge of that museum? And Bradley says, bet it's a fucking Muslim. Oh my God, some 6-year-old got thrown over the edge of a museum? Oh, Alan James says, what time did you start streaming at 7 a.m. here? I started 2 hours ago. Damn, that's that 5 a.m. start time, Alan James. Yeah, I started at noon time. If I get some donations at PayPal.me/Outrage TV, a little more consistent, start growing it a little more, I'll be able to, stream any goddamn time I want in the middle of the day. I don't want to have to, be locked into the Postmates schedule, ladies and gentlemen. All right, PayPal.me/Outrage TV if you want to contribute to that, anytime stream fund. Trying to unhook myself from the Postmating here. I was trying to get some maintenance done on my car. It looks like my personal mechanic that I know, he moved all the way to goddamn Glendora, California, which is like a goddamn hour drive from me.
So I'm gonna have to take my chances with this. These mechanics next door at the goddamn Valero, the gas station over there. They got a little maintenance shop, but they seem like shady individuals. All right, we're gonna go over there and see what the fuck they say. Oh, thank you, Dave Kranick. He says, have a great rest of the day, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, hit that like button if you like the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Share it out. If you one of the clips makes you laugh, clip it out and send it to nickjordan84@gmail.com. I'll post it up on the playlist there. On the home page, we're trying to get some podcast clips because those are some of the biggest clips that go viral off of like Joe Rogan's channel and Owen Benjamin's channel, are the little 6-7 minute clips or less. It's hard to get people to commit to the 2+ hour streams when they don't know who the hell I am. So we get some small clips put out there. We can bring in some fresh blood to the Outrage Cast and get it popping. Yeah, I'm gonna go head up to the gym and work it out. I'm gonna put the work in for Western Civilization. We're gonna grow the goddamn shoulders, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna eat a goddamn Little Caesars pizza. All right. We're gonna get rowdy out at the goddamn Planet Fitness. Hide your kids, hide your wife. All right, the Outrage Chancellor, he's putting on that dip belt. All right, Outrage crew, hit the like button if you like the stream. PayPal.me/Outrage TV if you want to contribute. Nick Jordan himself on Instagram. I am Nick Jordan on Twitter. I'll post up the full podcast audio under Outrage Cast on all the podcast apps. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you like some of the clips, clip them out, send them to nickjordan84@gmail.com. I'll post them up right on that Outrage homepage. And no, we're not looking at porn, Archer. Going to the gym. We're getting swole up for Western Civilization. All right, you bad motherfuckers, until tomorrow. I'm yet to decide. We might switch it up for the weekend and go late night stream. We might do a little shots cast, something like that. I'm feeling good now that we passed the rent threshold. All right, we might party this weekend with a late night stream. All right, but I'm liking the caffeinated arguments here. I'm liking the fluidity in the middle of the day. It's fun either way, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll catch you next time. Signing off, the Outrage Chancellor. God bless the Outrage crew.